hi Tejas.
Oh, hi Mark, how are you? It's been a long time since we've met.
I'm good, and my semester has also been pretty good. How has your semester been? We should just go inside and catch up for some time. How's your English class going this semester? Actually, my English class this semester is really interesting. It's on ironies and sincerities, and I have an artifact due in a couple of days. What's the artifact about? The artifact is about how irony has affected me in my life, and it's a multimodal essay, so I'm thinking of doing a video. What are you going to talk about in your video? In the video, I'm going to talk about an incident that happened with my grandmom about 60 years ago. Actually, you should just join me in my imagination and let's see what happened.
What's happening with your stomach?
I don't know, it just hurts.
How long has it been hurting?
A couple of days, I don't know.
Well, why don't we just go ahead and get you to the hospital to see if everything checks out? We have insurance,
No,
it'll be fine.
I'll sleep it off,
You sure?
We can go tomorrow.
Okay, let's do that. Oh, hi there, son.
Mommy, Daddy, I'm going to bed.
Sweet dreams.
Good night. Good night.
So what seems to be the problem?
Oh, well, my stomach has been hurting for just a couple of days.
Alright, well, we'll take some scans and then we'll decide what to do from there.
What do you want?
I have some scans of a patient.
What do you think we should do?
Maybe run some more tests. Get
Actually, I have some free time today. I think I'll just operate on her.
Oh, okay.
Just get the operation
Alright,
ready.
makes sense.
Hand me the knife. Oof.
What do you mean, oof?
There's nothing wrong. This is not good. Let's just close it up quickly. Act as nothing happened. Why is she so bloated up? What's wrong? Did we forget to close a vein? I think we forgot to close a vein. Maybe we have to run some scans, but I just have a feeling that we forgot to close the vein. Anyway, we need to get her to surgery right now. Prepare the emergency room right now.
Mommy, are you feeling better?
I'm feeling all right now. But I'll never trust a doctor again. Instead, I will find a way of making medicine for my own self that is helpful and good for all people.
I'm so sorry about what happened to your grandmom. It's really very tragic. But I don't see the irony in this scenario. So after that incident, my grandmom developed an intense hatred for modern medicine. And I can understand her hatred because the medicine almost killed her. But that intense hatred has spread throughout the family. And I can see that in my dad. In fact, my grandmom, even now when she gets sick or badly injured, she would rather injure herself than go to doctors. And sometimes we as a family force her to go to doctors, but she absolutely hates it because she doesn't trust them at all. After this incident, she went out and got her own medical certificate in homeopathy, and she makes medicines for herself because she really doesn't trust modern medicine. And it has rubbed off quite a bit on my dad and his siblings. Even now when I'm sick or my sister's sick, my dad doesn't like us going to the hospital, and we don't go to the hospital often. I hardly take any medicine. I usually just wait for my body to heal. And actually, my grandmom isn't alone. When I was reading up about this article by Johns Hopkins says that 250,000 people per year die because of medical mistakes. And I find this quite ironic that people die because they visit the hospital to get well. And I know this isn't really the doctor's fault, but this one social irony has affected me a lot and has affected a lot of other people. Has any ironical incident happened to you which has affected you deeply or which has some implications on you? Anything similar to what happened to me? Actually, an incident did happen to me, but it's not very similar to your grandma. And it happened very recently. What happened? So this was just at the start of winter break. I was excited to go back home, and I thought for a change, instead of spending 30 bucks on an Uber, I should just take the Mata. So I woke up that morning excited, packed my things, took an Uber till the North Ave Mata station, and that's where it all went wrong. The moment I got out of the Uber, this one guy at the Mata station came up to me from a car of about 5 or 6 other people. And remember, this was in broad daylight and it was at the cross section. There were other people around me. And he just came up to me and told me a sob story about how his family was destroyed in the hurricane. And I didn't want to tell him that I didn't believe him, so I went along with the story. And then he asked me for money. And I told him that I don't have any money on me. He told me there was an ATM nearby and he asked me to withdraw money for him. And I thought this was too much of an ask, so I told him that I could not withdraw money. I told him that my flight was leaving soon and that if I went to withdraw money for him, I would miss my flight. He looked back at his friends, looked at me dead serious and said, "This won't end well for you if you don't give me money." I was scared and I realized to myself that I was getting mugged. So I decided to go along with him to the ATM and get some money. And I only gave him 20 bucks. But the whole incident scarred me quite a bit and it's made me scared for a long time. I'm so sorry that happened to you, but I'm struggling to see the irony in this story. First of all, I found it really odd that the mugger would come after me, a college student. Because in general, college students are usually broke and they are well built. I found it really weird that he came to mug me. But when I read about this online, I found out that most people who get mugged are about the same age. And I find that really odd and ironical. And secondly, I was mugged in broad daylight. There were other people around me, but none of them came to help me. And I find that really hypocritical, as none of them would like to be mugged themselves and they would like help when they get mugged, but they weren't bothered enough to come and help me. That incident has had quite an adverse effect on me. Ever since that day, I feel like there's something clutching the back of my brain. There's like a fear which just holds on to me every time I go off campus. Even if I go to Publix or Cookout, if I'm walking there, I feel like there's someone watching me or ready to attack me and take my money and hurt me. And it's not just when I'm alone. Even if I'm with a group of 15 people, I feel like I'm about to get mugged. And whenever I read stories of other college kids getting mugged, it only worsens my fear and makes me panicky. Yeah. Ooh, it's already 4 o'clock. I have work at 4:30 and I really need to get going. But it was really nice talking to you today and catching up. And I hope that you get over the incident that happened. Yeah, I'm working on getting over this fear and hopefully breaking the shackles this fear has just clutched me with. I hope to see you later and catch up soon enough.